Do you think you know danger? Frozen mountains and scorching deserts don't even come close to the fury of rivers? They may look peaceful, but beneath the surface hide currents capable of swallowing entire cities and wild river animals ready to attack without warning. These are the rivers that kill, and once you hear their stories, you'll never look at water the same way again. The Zambezi is one of those places that enchant and frighten at the same time. Anyone who has stood before Victoria Falls knows how hypnotic nature's force is there. But behind the beauty lies a scene of dangerous rivers, where territorial hippos don't hesitate to attack boats and giant crocodiles wait silently for the slightest mistake. It's as if every bend in the river were a test of human courage. Just imagine, crossing its waters means facing deadly currents that can't be mastered, currents that have dragged down even steel boats. Locals tell stories of fishermen who never came back, and it's no exaggeration, it's the harsh reality of this place. If someone plans to navigate the Zambezi, they need far more than luck. They need preparation, respect, and a clear sense that here, the natural spectacle blends with constant danger. The Niger River is the heart of life for millions in West Africa, but it also carries a dark side. Along its banks, Nile crocodiles attack without warning, turning simple activities like fishing or drawing water into fatal encounters. And during the floods, what once sustained life becomes a liquid trap. Entire villages have been swallowed by inundations no one could stop. It's a living example of how the most dangerous rivers in the world can be both a source of life and a constant threat. And it doesn't stop there. Armed conflicts in the region make crossings even more dangerous, because beyond the wild river animals, there's human risk too. Imagine having to cross in small canoes, knowing that both the current and the social environment can be deadly. It's a reality that shows how river disasters aren't only natural, but also the fruit of human tensions. And just when you think you've seen it all, another river appears, equally marked by historical and cultural tragedies, but on a very distant continent. The Mississippi seems torn from novels and songs, a symbol of American identity. But behind that cultural charm lies a record of river disasters that have destroyed entire cities. Its floods are among the most devastating in North America, and to this day, its deadly currents remain a real threat. It's not uncommon to hear fishermen tell of boats that vanished in an instant, swallowed by unforgiving waters. As if the natural danger weren't enough, heavy traffic increases the risks even more. Ghost stories on its waters mingle with accounts of real shipwrecks, creating a mysterious atmosphere that draws the curious and the scholarly. The Mississippi shows how even an emblematic river can be listed among the most dangerous rivers in the world. And the truth is that the farther you push into icy lands, the more you discover how rivers can become moving blades of ice, capable of transforming the landscape in a matter of minutes. The Lena, in the heart of Siberia, holds a spectacle few are prepared to face. During the thaw, huge blocks of ice race down river like cutting blades, destroying boats and tearing up entire banks. Just a few minutes in its freezing waters is enough for hypothermia to set in, turning any slip into tragedy. That's why many consider it one of the most dangerous rivers in the world, not only for the force of its deadly currents, but also for the relentless cold. Local peoples have witnessed entire villages vanish in sudden floods, as if the Lena decided to reclaim what was once its own. And even in calm times, there's always the feeling that this frozen giant is ready to show its fury. This is the kind of river that teaches respect and caution, a reminder that nature never lets itself be tamed. And while the Lena cuts through frozen lands, elsewhere there's a river that mixes vital economy, past wars, and the challenge of navigating among predators and whirlpools. The Mekong is vital to millions in Southeast Asia, but it's also one of the most dangerous rivers in the world. Crocodiles lurk along its margins, while violent whirlpools drag boats down without warning. Submerged rocks complicate navigation and turn every crossing into a challenge. It's a river where livelihood and danger walk side by side. During the Vietnam War, the Mekong was the stage for ambushes that still live in local memory. Many families tell stories of navigators who disappeared in its waters. It's a place where life pulses strong, but always at the edge of risk. And just like here, there are even wilder rivers that harbor giant predators and unique natural phenomena. The Orinoco is immense and untamed, home to wild river animals that challenge any visitor. Among them, colossal anacondas and ravenous piranhas turn a simple swim into real peril. Its floods force entire communities to abandon their homes, showing how even the most ordinary routine can become fragile before nature's strength. No wonder it appears among the most dangerous rivers in the world. What's more, the Orinoco frames a rare spectacle, the Catatumbo lightning, which lights the sky for hours on end. This natural phenomenon creates a scene that is both fascinating and intimidating. Locals often say that living near the Orinoco means coexisting daily between enchantment and threat. And if here electricity rules the skies, in another distant river tragedy has marked history with floods capable of wiping out millions. The Yangtze is Asia's largest river and bears a past marked by historical tragedies. The 1931 flood took millions of lives, cementing its fame among the most dangerous rivers in the world. Even today, with modern containment systems, it remains unpredictable, able to transform entire cities into scenes of river disasters overnight. Its power is remembered as a constant warning. Another silent enemy of the Yangtze is dense fog, which disorients vessels and causes fatal collisions. Many navigators report visibility dropping to just a few feet, making it impossible to predict what lies ahead. That detail turns each journey on its waters into an act of courage. And while the Yangtze confuses with its fog, elsewhere in Africa there's a river so deep it swallows whole boats and whirlpools without leaving a trace. The Congo is considered the deepest river on the planet, with points that reach more than 700 feet. Its deadly currents create whirlpools so powerful they've swallowed entire boats without a trace. It's as if the river had a life of its own, able to decide when to allow passage. It's no accident that it's on the list of the most dangerous rivers in the world. Beyond the currents, the Congo also harbors wild river animals that make navigation even riskier. Aggressive hippos attack boats without warning, reminding everyone that the danger here isn't only invisible. Those who venture onto its waters know they need respect and caution with every stroke. And if in the Congo the threat rises from the depths and from animals, elsewhere in South America there's a river that combines dense fog, historic floods, and mysterious sounds that intrigue even the most skeptical. The Parana is South America's second largest river and carries a reputation shaped by river disasters. Its treacherous currents have surprised even seasoned navigators, turning simple crossings into dangerous situations. Historic floods have inundated entire cities, showcasing the strength of one of the most dangerous rivers in the world. With every rainy season, the Parana reminds us it remains untamable. Another detail that makes it even more enigmatic is the dense fog that blankets its waters. Fishermen report hearing mysterious sounds in the early hours, as if the river carried secrets no one dares reveal. These accounts reinforce the Parana's fame as a river wrapped in mystery and danger. And if here the threat comes from mist and currents, farther on there is a colossal river where piranhas, caimans, and electric eels share the same territory. The Amazon is the largest river in the world and, at the same time, one of the most feared. Its murky waters hide wild river animals like ravenous piranhas, giant caimans, and electric eels capable of felling a man in seconds. Its deadly currents pull entire boats away, reminding us that there's no room for distraction here. It's a territory that blends abundance and threat in every mile. Beyond the wild nature, the Amazon is also home to isolated tribes that see intruders as a danger. For those who venture along its banks, it's not enough to fear only animals or floods. It's crucial to understand that this is one of the most dangerous rivers in the world, where every step must be measured. And if in the Amazon the threat hides in the jungle and the current, in India there's a sacred river where faith and risk walk hand in hand. The Ganges is considered sacred by millions, but its reality is marked by intense contrasts. While the faithful immerse themselves seeking spiritual purification, the river carries high pollution levels that cause disease every day. This paradox places the Ganges among the most dangerous rivers in the world, where devotion and risk blend in every current. Most striking is how faith moves multitudes to challenge the river's invisible dangers. Entire families travel hundreds of miles to perform rituals, even knowing the health risks. This coexistence between spirituality and threat turns the Ganges into a stage for unique experiences. And if here the danger hides in pollution and belief, elsewhere in Russia, there is a silent river where death doesn't come from animals or currents, but from something even more invisible. Among all dangerous rivers, few are as frightening as those contaminated by radiation. The Tetra River in Russia looks calm at first glance, but its waters carry invisible, deadly nuclear residues. Unlike wild river animals or deadly currents, here danger gives no warning. Prolonged contact is enough to compromise the health of anyone who approaches. It's a silent, devastating risk. This kind of threat is even crueler because it can't be detected with the naked eye. People who relied on the Tetra for drinking or irrigation discovered, too late, that they were exposed to a continuous poison. It proves that river disasters aren't limited to natural phenomena, but also to scars left by human actions. And if in this case the danger is invisible, in other rivers the risk comes precisely from the faith that moves multitudes, turning devotion into threat. Beyond the Ganges, many other rivers consider divine hide concealed dangers. Faith drives multitudes to dive into these waters in search of purification and blessings, but extreme pollution turns that act into risk. These places, sacred though they are, enter easily into the list of the most dangerous rivers in the world. The contrast between devotion and threat creates a unique atmosphere where the holy and the mortal meet. It's common to see entire families traveling miles just to carry out rituals without realizing they're exposing themselves to serious disease. Faith is so intense that danger seems to disappear, but the reality is different. This paradox shows how the enemy isn't always visible, as happens with wild river animals or deadly currents. And if here the threat blends with spirituality, elsewhere on the planet there are underground rivers that hide deadly traps, ready to swallow entire explorers. In the depths of caves in Asia and Central America, underground rivers keep secrets that few dare to face. Their deadly currents run unseen, swallowing explorers who risk themselves in narrow passages with no return. Here, there are no wild river animals to warn of danger, only absolute silence and total darkness. It's an environment where every wrong step can cost a life. Stories of divers who disappeared without a trace reinforce these rivers' fame as some of the most dangerous rivers in the world. Exploration becomes a wager against death, where the lack of light and the unpredictability of the waters turn the unknown into an enemy. These settings show how danger can be hidden beneath our feet. And if underground death hides in silence, out in the open, there are rivers that vanish or change course, confusing even the most experienced. Some rivers defy even the maps, simply disappearing in desert areas or changing direction unexpectedly. For explorers, this creates natural traps, since trusting fixed routes can lead to extreme situations. Many of these phenomena make the list of the most dangerous rivers in the world, not because of animals or deadly currents, but because of their unpredictability, which confuses even the most seasoned travelers. There are reports of caravans that followed watermarked trails and ended up lost when the river dried up out of nowhere. In frozen regions, entire rivers change course after glacier melt, altering landscapes in a matter of days. It's as if nature itself were redrawing the borders. And if here the danger is sudden change, in other rivers the risk lies in dark stories, where waters once served as stages for rituals and human sacrifice. Since antiquity, many rivers have been the scene of rituals mixing devotion and fear. There are records of rites of passage and even human sacrifices in waters that, beyond carrying life, also carried stories of blood. That helps some of them be remembered as the most dangerous rivers in the world, not just for river disasters, but also for the cultural marks that cross centuries. The mystery deepens when local legends speak of spirits trapped in the currents, as if the river kept the memory of those dark rituals. In several cultures, crossing certain waters was seen as a test of courage or a pact with invisible forces. There are examples of how danger doesn't come only from wild river animals or deadly currents, but also from traditions that turned rivers into symbols of dread. And if the past carries dark rituals, the present shows how rivers remain the stage of tragedies that still wound entire communities. You don't always have to look to the distant past to find examples of river disasters. Brazil's Rio Doce became a modern symbol of destruction after dam failures released toxic tailings into its waters. The impact was immediate. Entire communities lost their homes, fishing was destroyed, and the river entered the list of the most dangerous rivers in the world, not because of nature, but because of human action. This tragedy showed how danger isn't only in wild river animals or deadly currents, but also in the scars left by environmental neglect. Families who depended on the river to survive saw their lives change overnight. The Doce became a reminder that risk can be as present today as it was in ancient times. And it's precisely at this point that our journey through the world's most dangerous rivers takes on a different dimension. You've just discovered some of the most dangerous rivers in the world, places where currents, animals, and even human actions turn water into a constant threat. These rivers have scarred communities, taken countless lives, and remain remembered as symbols of real danger. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these rivers caught your attention the most? Which one would you never dare to face? Leave your answer in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to keep learning about stories few have the courage to tell.